Board games, board games, it's what I'm talking about. Cake on and we whimsical creatures, I'm not gonna shout. Today I might be going to a bus. Cakes and ladders, where all of us could previously hire a game. But it's sadly going away and it just won't be the same. With this bus gone, I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably carry on much as before, but it won't be the same without you. Bye bye, cakes and ladders, it's not what I'm talking about. But tomorrow I'll maybe be talking a bit more about them. But either way, I'm not going to shout. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I hope you are generally well. And today, yeah, I should have probably copy pasted a wee bit, but as you've seen, this is Bezzy Beats and Briefer Blether. I am now once more blethering for a wee bit, but I'm going to try and finish before past. I'm going to try and be succinct. That's what I am trying to do. So what am I talking about today? Well, as always, if there's any things that come up, any questions that you have, then I will happily, add them to the schedule, like talk about them. It's just a bunch of chatting, just a light-hearted chat. This is what it's all about. But today, there's a bit of a slow Sunday, being gentle. I'm going to talk about KCON. I'm going to talk about how I am, maybe talk about how you are if anyone else pops in. Talk about my next Kickstarter and anything else that pops up. Recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. So let me actually get that to be scrolling from the bottom. So recent highlights. What has been happening recently? Well, let me just take you on a bit of a photo journey. Let's properly catch up. These are some strawberries. These strawberries are from my garden. Here's the thing that I cooked. I've been getting these meals recently. Hello Fresh. It is a bit pricey, and it is definitely a luxury. But for me, it makes the process a wee bit more manageable. I did get a discount for my first 4 boxes, and I don't know whether I'm going to continue, but I'm doing it maybe every 3 or 4 weeks when I know, okay, like the week after UK Games Expo, I had one of these at the start of August. Then the week after my next Kickstarter, I'm going to have one of these because it does make life easier. It does mean that I've got a bunch of things to do. I've finished playtesting all the LDEC games. That's the thing that happened. There's Dix. Dix is wonderful. Also, at Royal Festival Hall, they sell some fancy food. It was quite fun. With Aubergine, we played a game about cows. Oh, that's Dix's prototype. That must be what Layla was asking about. That's Dix's prototype. It is a deck builder, and it's kind of like a push your luck deck builder. I felt there were some really nice ideas. You're putting things on the left or right. There's still a lot of work to be done. It's very early days. And so, yeah, this is a color drawing game by Dix. And here's another color drawing game. Some fantastic ideas going on. And yeah, it could have been tile placement. It could have been something else. But color drawing, filling in things with colors, it just makes it feel a bit more enjoyable. Here's another thing that I cooked from HelloFresh. Here's me with a cat. I've been cat sitting recently. This is Frankie. This is Frankie. And this is not Frankie. This is a snail. Completely different. But I think that these two snails are having sex. I'm not sure. But Frankie going into the other cat's bowl. Oh, so recently I went to board game butts called Cakes and Ladders with McCall. We had a lovely time on Wednesday. Played Lattice, which I've already talked about. The placement, putting things on suns, that's a really interesting thing. Yeah, dominoes having to match one quality of adjacent things, that makes it understandable. I feel like I would have liked. There was a little bit too much luck in the game for my taste. We could have done but I feel there was a tournament mode where the tournament mode actually means that you've got these tiles, which are the win tiles, and the objective is to get rid of all your tiles. So you've got maybe with 2 people, 24 tiles per player, let's say, and up to 12 of them, I want to say, could be wind. And so if you've got 6 and I've got 6, fair enough. But wind, you just play it and then you get another turn. There's no downside to this wind. And so, yeah, if you are lucky enough that you've got 10 of the wind rather than your fair share of 6, then you're pretty much destined to win. And that just felt a bit sad. We played Patchwork Doodle. That was a fine game. I was happy with my score. It was nice to play. I got a score of 123. I don't believe that I would be able to do much better, so that makes me not want to play again. That's the truth. I feel like I've kind of done as well as I'm likely to do, and I've kind of enjoyed the thrill of discovery, and yeah, what's left to kind of discover? I don't know, because that's the thing about zero interaction games, true multiplayer solitaire games. If with other people being around, you've got that discussion with them. You get to chat about, okay, I do this, but then you do this and you surprise me and you get in my way. And so there's that interaction. Recently, I went to KCON. Now, here are some photos. I walked from the station to the venue. It was a big walk. It was a couple of hours, but I got some wonderful sights. I did see a lot of roads but this is in Milton Keynes. In Milton Keynes. There we go. And so this is between the train station and I can't remember, Fernhill, Parkhill, wherever KCON was held. This one is about an hour and a half walk from the train station. It took me, as I said, a couple of hours. I was pretty tired, but I managed. But I felt a sense of achievement, and I was rewarded with such lovely sights as this traffic cone in a stream. Some vaguely interesting graffiti, not the best that I've ever seen, but worth taking a picture of. Some delicious blackberries, wonderful, wonderful blackberries. I mean, I always stop and take a minute to eat the blackberries. And of course, then I got to KCON. The first game that I played was David Digby's game all about playing music. It is a bunch of mini games, 4 different mini games, one for the drummer, guitarist, bass guitar, and keyboardist. And there might be another one coming for the vocalist, because apparently the previous minigame for the vocalist wasn't very good. But you're trying to sort out through these minigames as fast as you can, real time, trying to assemble the notes. It doesn't have anything to do with music theory, it's abstract little minigames. And once you've done it, you slide a little tag to the side of the card to say, I've done this. And then you throw it at someone else. I mean, David did say throw, but I was the only person literally throwing them. And so it was a really good game from this person. David Digby, well done. Then we've got the cakes. That's the next thing that I really got into. We've got lemon drizzle cake on the left. We've got some cheesy dinosaurs in the middle. We've got some gingerbread. The gingerbread had a really nice texture. It could have had a wee bit more ginger. I would have liked to see, ideally, big chunks of ginger. That's what I would have liked to see. But wee Rupert, not pictured, did say that it was very fruity. Everyone very much enjoyed the cheese. And the Sagrada cake, of course, is just beautiful. That one, it was actually surprisingly close. So Sagrada cake, cheesy dinosaurs, gingerbread dinosaurs, and not pictured, the chessboard, which came in very late. So the final scores were 94 out of a possible 120 because there were 4 judges, 4 criteria. Wait, that's a possible 160. Huh, is that right? Oh, there you go. That seems less impressive now, but they were still all very good. I want to clarify that they were very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, there were only 3 of us. It is out of a potential 120. I correct myself for the second time. So out of a potential 120 points, because I personally rated taste, visuals, the name of the dish, and the pizzazz. Rupert and Leanne Weaver. No. Was it Leanne? Oh my gosh, this is terrible. I feel like it was Leanne. I'm fairly sure it was Leanne, but now I'm doubting my memory. They rated the taste, the theme, the name, and the visuals. So Sagrada was beautiful. It had a good amount of pizzazz. Everyone thought the name was rubbish. The name was average. It told you what it was. It was Sagrada, the cake. Got 94. Congratulations. The chessboard got the best scores for the taste. It was fantastic. 10, 10, 9. 29 points out of a possible 30. The visuals, slightly less great. The name was quality. Chessboard I delivered by my Hermes. I felt like this was the best score, but I see Rupert wasn't so enamored by it. And then the visuals, it was good, and but then the cheese and the tiny epic ginger swords. Also, everything, I just want to clarify, everything was really good, and we didn't, we just gave each rating individually and then added them up, and it just came to be that it was like literally 6 points between first place and fourth. This is me being lifted up by John Dodd. John Dodd is pretty strong, as you can imagine. John Dodd was able to lift me up very comfortably. There's John, myself, Leanne Weaver, wonderful, beautiful, and Kelly Eckley, the super organized, generous, kind, lovely. Everyone there is lovely, I believe. And yeah, I met 3 of these people. I hadn't seen Dee before, pictured in the black t-shirt, sitting down with glasses. That's Molo. And slightly in shot is Mike. We've got Martin Carburley and Mark Cook pictured. We played Lifeboats. Lifeboats is all about voting which boat springs a leak, voting which boat moves forwards, and then doing a little dance for chaos, by which I mean removing a crewmate in each boat, jumping into a different boat, which there's not much thematic attachments, but it's one of the best vote and negotiate and mess with other people games that I have ever played. It's not something I would choose to play every month, but it's one that I own. I own a much older version, and it's a fantastic game for, to my mind, playing once every 3, 4, 5, 6 months when you're like, okay, I've forgotten how it went. Now let's play again, and let's all get together and have new relationships, and hopefully you'll get another player into the mix to mix it all up. We did play a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after someone makes noises. I was pretty enamored by how much everyone seemed to enjoy it. And yeah, I'll get to that Kickstarter in a moment. We played One Night's Ultimate Werewolf with all of these peeps. Then another person came along and we added a villager. It was a fantastic game. And as you can see, high emotions, and that's what it's all about to me. The reveal, okay, we voted this person out, but were they a werewolf? Was this person still a werewolf? Because as a player, unlike other social deduction games, you're never sure what's going on. Your card might be swapped with someone else's, And I think that gives the game a great emotional payoff at the reveal. Yeah, more One Night's Ultimate's Werewolf. Lovely people. Breakfast the next day. It was a decent breakfast. It wasn't a buffet. When they say buffet, I imagine kind of serving yourself and being somewhere like the Hilton, where back in the day when I used to volunteer for UK Games Expo, and they might put you up in the Hilton. You could just, if you want to take free eggs, you take free eggs. Here it was like, well, there's 2 eggs left. I'm not going to take both of them because then the next person doesn't get them. So I'm just going to ask for an egg. And yeah, I'm not going to be too greedy. But in a way, it's good to not be too greedy. But like, I wish they had had more eggs. I could have done with 1 more egg. But yeah, I didn't want to deny the egg to the person behind me, even though the person behind them wasn't going to get an egg. So clearly there was an egg shortage. I mean, there was a queue of people and there weren't as many eggs as people. And people like fried eggs. Anyway, this was a breakfast. The veggie sausage was brilliant. If it had been a buffet, I would have gotten up and gotten a couple more veggie sausages. First game I played yesterday was Small Islands. We learnt the rules together. It was a bit of me reading French and then realizing that my French is still not good enough to learn a basic game. My new friend, Philippa, oh, I'm really sorry if you're watching, but one of my new friends reading the English rules and then us reading through the rules together, and then us kind of just learning it. But basically, each card here has 2 parts. So with this little card, the bit on the left means this is what you need to put a house on an island. So here you would need 3 anchors to put your house on an island, which is why my red house is not on the left island, because there's only 2 anchors. If there had been 3 anchors, I could have also put my house there. Secondly, you've got the how do you score points this turn. So this turn I score 1 point per anchor plus 2 points per island. And you score this for everything. And as the game goes on, there's basically there's probably going to be 4 rounds. There are rules for ending the game prematurely if something goes wrong or if players don't trigger the end of the rounds. Because also there's a really interesting thing where each player can trigger the end of a round, but then you have a limit on how many times you can trigger the end of a round. So that means that you might be in the last round and you're like, haha, I have all the power. I am able to decide when it finishes. This doesn't make it particularly terrible for anyone else. I mean, there's plenty of spaces for houses there. It's not like you get any big advantage by ending it, but it just means you won't be caught out. And in my situation, I was like, okay, am I going to make 1 more round? No, I'm not. Well, 1 more set of turns, 1 more round around the table, as opposed to 1 more. The word round, it's difficult. I mean, lovely game. I would definitely play it again. I felt like 3 of the cards felt like they were only there because they couldn't think of good enough cards for 4 players, but generally it felt like a really solid game. That's our final island. And for the record, I came a close second, by which I mean I was relatively close to the player in 3rd place. Yeah, the person in 1st place was just miles ahead of us. And there we are, me and my new friends. Small Islands, lovely game. This was... So yeah, I did have a chat with Peter Hazelwood. Peter showed me their new game. I chatted about it. Peter explained their vague thoughts about mazes. We chatted, then I showed someone else a game about wee whimsical creatures, and they fell in love. And then we played this game, which is called Mara. This is a really, really nice game. I would highly recommend. The designer is called Dean. Oh my gosh, what's the designer's surname? Dean something. Oh, I'm sorry, Dean. I feel like I want to link to you, but this is a game looking for a publisher. And if anyone wants to send me a message, I will try to get you in touch with Dean if I can. But it's all about pushing things across and setting off chain reactions. And there can only be 4. This isn't Highlander. There can only be 4 in a little hexagon. And so and the big wildebeests that you can see, for example, in the bottom left corner, that giant red wildebeest counts as 2, so it goes forwards. If there's already 4 little ones, then 2 of those will move forwards, and then if there's already 3 or 4 little ones there, then 1 or 2 of them will move forwards, and then you get these chain reactions. And there's also zebras and wildebeests cannot coexist, so you might get longer chain reactions, and it's super exciting. And then there's animals on the sides, and then these animals come in, and then depending on the card that you flip each turn, you might start eating the animals. But then if the animals are grouped together, the animals are safe. But if the animals are on their own, they're not. It's really, really nicely done. I would definitely be up for playing again. I mean, yeah, this is better than if this were a, yeah, this is, yeah, like for sure there's wee bits that you could experiment with, and like wee bits that for sure, like the cards deck, I think could use a lot of experimentation and seeing how it goes. But if it were published right now in its current state, I would think, yeah, that's a pretty gosh darn good game, which is a good state for a prototype to be in. We did then play Root, myself and my new friends, Ruth and Sinjin and Dean. This is an early game shot with the cats taking over the board, the birds starting to swarm, and the woodland conspiracy, which was me just having a presence in the middle. And I've just established a presence. I had just taken over the cats. They got smashed, but they still managed to come a very close second. And there's the vagabond. We all left the vagabond alone, much to our chagrin, because later in the game, the cats were decimated. The birds were swarming, but hadn't scored many points. The Woodland Alliance, I tried to get in the way of the vagabond, but it was all too late. And yeah, you can't see the score. So there, birds are on 9 points. I am on 10 points. Cats have just taken themselves off for dominance. They were on 21. And then the vagabonds finished with 31 points, essentially. Here's some cat photos, and that's the end of my photo journey. So that is me. And that's what I am all about. That was KCON. That was my recent stuff. How am I? If anyone has any questionably quick questions, this is the next section. Questionably quick questions is the name of this section. Questionably quick questions. And while I'm talking about brilliant thing, what's a little thing which is brilliant? I'm going to have enjoy your thing. That is brilliant. Having that validation, having people say, hey, what you've done is good. Now, I want to share a little, very quick video. So, it'll just be 20 seconds. So, yes, my Kickstarter for a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after someone makes noises is going to launch on Tuesday. And further to this, hello Flo, oh my gosh, you are up incredibly early. Is it not like 2 or 5, something like that, where you are? I hope that you're generally well. So just for the record, because I know you've not been watching the mornings, I am doing busy beats and briefer bladder, so I am going to be finishing in 5-ish minutes, but it is lovely to see, and I hope you are generally well. My brilliant thing was basically just seeing all the moderators, but yeah, if you have any questionably quick questions, then please get them in, and we can go on a few minutes extra, but yeah, it is genuinely lovely to see you, and I welcome always any and all questions, or if you want to tell me quickly about how you are, then go for it. And oh my gosh, hello Jess! It must be about 5 p.m. where you are in Thailand, in Bangkok. the lovely Jess. I know it is you. Oh, you didn't do your usual thing. But yeah, a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after someone makes noises. Friday, played it, bunch of people enjoying it so much, wanting to play it again. And then we played One Night's Ultimate Werewolf. Then they said, oh, can we play this again? And they were so excited to. And it was so much fun seeing that validation. I am going to say, please do back the Kickstarter. Even if you're in a completely different country, it will be £1 for the print and play edition. And I would really like people to back for the £1 print and play edition, because it's literally just £1. You will get a copy to print and play at home. So it's easy for me. I just send you the digital files, and yeah, I can't stop you from giving it away to other people, but I would really like if everyone gave me £1, because hopefully the game's worth it. And hello, Stephanie. I hope that you're generally well. All the best with learning 4C. What's inspired you to learn 4C? I mean, mashallah, but thank you very much. That's, well, I hope that's, yeah, I hope that's I've earned that fandom, I guess. It's really weird to hear of someone describe themselves. Well, that's not Stephanie describing themselves as a fan. I could imagine in the pool, Jess and Stephanie just saying, oh, Stephanie's a big fan of yours. And Stephanie being like, oh, no, Jess, what are you saying? I'm not to... Anyway. But, and Flo over in America says, I'm up late. I had a real life game tonight. I will be sleeping in. Well, what game was it? And I hope it was very much fun for you. Anyway, so back to a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after someone makes noises. I put up a little thing in the Facebook group, Big to Cuck. There were 100 followers, and I said, okay, if we get 200 followers, I will draw a monster involving all the moderators for Big to Cuck, Board Game Trading, and Chat UK. And that was maybe 1 a.m. in the morning, so about 9 hours ago. And now there are 187 people. And that doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to buy the game. But what it tells me is that that's validation. That's people who are excited about it. People who believe, yeah, we're supportive enough to go and click a couple of buttons. And that validation, that's what I'm all about. And so I know that sounds egocentric, but validation, people saying, yeah, we like your thing, that for me is a brilliant thing. Speaking of which, Rob, you are brilliant, and I hope you're generally well. Stephanie met some nice Iranian friends. They taught her some curse words. What's with all these people wanting to learn curse words? Why not learn, hey, let's be friends, or hey, I think you're totally awesome. It's like, man, mashallah. You know, why not learn some positive messages to shout at people? Why is it all about swearing? Anyway, at this point, I am going to start wrapping up. So I've talked about all the I've talked about all the photos, all the games that I played. It was fantastic. It was lovely to be at that convention, and I would absolutely recommend KCON to everyone. That is Root. I think that I'm excited for my next Kickstarter. I do want to make it clear that I am not ignoring Categorical. I am very much continuing to do Categorical. It's just that I can't print anything until Monday. If you want to check me out, I'm Stuff by Bez everywhere. Stuffbybez.com, stuffbybez.cardhall.com is where you can buy my stuff. Twitter.com/stuffbybez, Instagram.com/stuffbybez, Twitch.tv/stuffbybez, and YouTube.com/stuffbybez. I want to say thank you, everyone. I want to say, firstly, thank you for popping in, Rob, for popping in repeatedly. I am well, and I want to say thank you, Jess, for being a lovely friend and popping in, and thank you, again, I don't know why Stephanie apparently knows of me or is a big fan. It might just be Jess claiming such things, but thank you. I want to say thank you, Flo, for popping in and sharing this moment with me. Poetry for Neanderthals. I don't know that one, but it sounds like a good time. I would be excited to try that. Categories. And Monstrosity. Monstrosity is so fantastic. One of my favorite games for sure. No, I don't want to swear at people. This is a family-friendly show. Mantoro Dustoram. Oh, Mantoram Dustoram. For anyone who doesn't understand, that means I like you. Oh, thank you very much. And I'm glad to hear that Stephanie's a very serious and conscientious language learner. But thank you. Lots of love. Yep. If there's anything else that people want to share, then feel free to for a minute or two. Over to you. What you're up to, you can share, but only if you want to. So yeah, have you eaten anything amazing? Actually, let me just open it up with a random question. What was the last thing you ate? The last thing I personally ate was, I want to say, yeah, dinner last night, which was around, we went around 7, so I probably finished eating around 8. It was at the hotel where the convention was held, and I had a full meal. It was a fish and chips with mushy peas and the sauces and lots of salad and a little bit of coleslaw because it had a great salad bar. And then I had a dessert. And the dessert was a really rich chocolate cake with chunky, nutty bits. But yeah, if you want to say anything about what you're planning, what are you up to next? What I'm planning is to go to Cakes and Ladders and check out Cakes and Ladders. They're having a bit of a party. I'm going to do more demonstrating for a game about wee whimsical creatures and try to identify them after someone makes noises. And I should probably take a bit of paper to collect email addresses. Yeah, what was the last thing you ate? Oh, wow. Ghost pepper Pringles. That sounds amazing. I did not know that such things existed. Wow. With dark rum, ginger, Coke Zero, and lime. Ghost pepper Pringles. I am super excited by the sound of that. Rob ate toasted fig and walnut bread for breakfast. Blimey. That sounds like a nice... So, the figs and the walnuts, this is presumably one you've baked at home. Like, that sounds more interesting than the stuff you get in the shop. And Flo has eaten buffalo wings with homemade ranch and blue cheese dressing. Like, normally not the typical gamer food, but I can see if you're playing party-style games, yeah, did you take a break for the food, I imagine? But, like, yeah, if you kind of are doing more party games and you're not super, what's the word I'm looking for, super fastidious about how the things are, chill morning, drinking some mate now, and we'll be doing some game design work for a while. Sounds awesome. And Rob did not break that bread. It's from the local baker who makes lovely bread and pastries. Oh my gosh. I feel like I really have to visit you sometime. I mean, you're just building it up with this baker. Floby, ate first. Sounds like a good idea. Good plan. What's his typical gamer food? Asks Jess. I would say something dry, something that doesn't drip, something that you can eat, ideally without messing up the stuff. Like maybe sometimes you have crisps, but then you need to make sure to wipe your hands before going back to the cards. Peanuts are good. Something, yeah, definitely not ice cream wafers. Baklava says, Rob, I normally do peanuts. Grapes are actually really good gamer food because they're clean, they come in their own little packaging because, you know, their skin, it's not, and then they're juicy, and grapes are the best gamer food, in my opinion. And yeah, so that is that. So if you want to know where I'm streaming in the future, I am going to be streaming at 10 a.m. every day from now on for the next 94, 96 days. Go to there to see my future things, but I am also streaming on Tuesday a couple of times in the afternoon, evening. Share, spread the word if you want. More importantly, spread the word about a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after someone makes noises. Please do make sure to check out the Kickstarter. And I am super excited. Like, just since the last time I refreshed it, we've already had one more person jump in. I am super excited by this. And so, yeah, please share the word and get everyone to back it at £1. If we get enough people, I might even do like a whole extra thing for free. There will be all sorts of stretch goals. For now, I love talking. I am really appreciative that you're all here, and I hate saying goodbye to people, but it's something that I must do. So for now, lots of love. You know where to find me. I mean, I've got enough social media things and email. Anyway, for now, bye, 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 bye. Wait a minute. We might as well raid Twitch. Shall we do a very quick raid? If people want to raid, then let me get the raid message up, and I think it is CD doing stuff in just a moment. Twitch.com for and I think it is CD. Whoops. CD on board. Well, that's that. Bye bye, bye bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye, bye bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. And bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to go. And say hello to CD, the lovely person from New Zealand. Lots of love to them. Lots of love to you, Flo. Bye bye, Flo. Bye bye, Rob. Bye bye, Jess. Bye bye, Stephanie, if Stephanie's watching. And bye bye to anyone who watches this after the facts. Lots of love. Stay safe, stay sane, and bye bye.